Have you ever looked at the clock and realized a whole year has gone by and you are still in the same place? Hello, and welcome back to our channel. It's so good to have you here with me today. Today, I want to tell you a story. It's a story about a man named Leo, but really, it's a story about me, and it might be a story about you, too. It's a story about the most precious thing we all have. It is the one thing we can never get back. I'm talking about time. Before we begin, if you find the story helpful, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. It helps us reach more people just like you. Thank you. Now, let's begin. Leo was a man of some day. He lived in a small apartment in a big city. The city was always moving, always busy. But Leo felt stuck. He felt like he was standing still while the world rushed past him. Every morning, his alarm clock would ring at 7:00 a.m. He would hit the snooze button once, twice, 3 times. He wanted just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes of dreaming. Because in his dreams, Leo was not a normal office worker. In his dreams, he was amazing. In his dreams, he was a writer. He wrote beautiful books. His books made people cry and laugh. They made people think about their lives. He could see the books on a shelf in a bookstore. His name was on the cover in big gold letters. In his dreams, he was a musician. He had an old guitar. It was his father's guitar. It sat in the corner of his living room. Dust was its only friend. In his dreams, Leo played the guitar. He played beautiful songs. People would listen, and they would smile. The music was his voice. In his dreams, he was a traveler. He had a map on his wall. The map was full of pins. Each pin was a place he wanted to see. The mountains of Peru, the beaches of Thailand, the busy streets of Tokyo. He dreamed of the food, the people, the adventure. But that was in his dreams. When he finally woke up, he was just Leo. He worked at a company. He sat at a desk from 9 to 5. He looked at a computer screen all day. The work was not interesting. It was not exciting. It was just work. It paid his bills. It gave him a salary. But it did not give him joy. In the evening, he would come home. He would feel tired, so very tired. The kind of tired that is in your bones, in your soul. He would look at the guitar in the corner. He would think, someday, I will learn to play, but not today. Today, he was too tired. So, he would turn on the TV. He would walk past his empty notebook. The notebook was for his book. The first page was blank. It was clean and white and empty. He would touch the cover. He would think, someday, I will write my story, but not today. Today, his mind was too full of work, too empty of ideas. So, he would watch a movie. He would look at the map on his wall. He would look at the pins. He would think, someday, I will travel the world, but not today. Today, he needed to save money. He needed to plan. It was not the right time. So he would scroll on his phone, looking at pictures of other people traveling. Someday was Leo's favorite word. It was a beautiful word. It was full of hope. It was full of promise. But someday was a thief. It was stealing his life, one day at a time. Leo had a friend named Clara. Clara was different. She did not wait for someday. She lived in today. One day, she told Leo, "I am learning Italian." Leo asked, "Why are you going to Italy?" She smiled and said, "I don't know. Maybe, but I want to learn it now. It's beautiful." She used a free app on her phone for 15 minutes every day. Just 15 minutes. Another day, she showed him a painting. It was a painting of a flower. It was not perfect, but it was full of color and life. Leo said, "Wow, you can paint." Clara laughed. "No, I can't. I am learning. I paint every Saturday morning. It makes me happy." Leo felt a strange feeling in his chest. It was admiration, but it was also sadness. Why was it so easy for her? Why was it so hard for him? He told her, "I want to do so many things. I want to write a book. I want to play the guitar. I want to travel." Clara listened patiently. She was a good friend. She asked a simple question. "So, what did you do today to get closer to your dreams?" Leo had no answer. He had worked. He had eaten. He had watched TV. He had not written a single word. He had not touched his guitar. He had not researched a trip. He had only dreamed. "You see, Leo," she said softly, "you are waiting. You are waiting for the perfect time. You are waiting for motivation. You are waiting for a sign. But the perfect time will never come. Motivation comes after you start, not before. The sign is the clock on your wall. It is always ticking." Her words were true. He knew they were true. But knowing and doing are two different worlds. He continued to live his life of someday. Weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. Leo was now 30, then 35, then 40. His job was the same. His apartment was the same. The dust on his guitar was thicker. The pages of his notebook were still empty. The pins on his map were faded by the sun. He felt a deep sense of regret. It was a heavy feeling, like a stone in his stomach. He saw other people living their lives, getting married, having children, starting businesses, traveling. He felt like a ghost in his own life. He was watching, but he was not living. He thought time was his friend. He always thought, "I have time. I am still young." But time was not his friend. Time was neutral. It just passed. It did not care about his dreams. It did not wait for him to be ready. Time is a river. You cannot touch the same water twice. The flow is always moving. Leo was standing on the bank of the river, watching it go by. He was afraid to jump in. The turning point came on a cold Tuesday in November. It was not a special day. It was just a normal, gray Tuesday. Leo went to visit his grandfather. His grandfather was 85 years old. He lived in a small, quiet house, filled with books and memories. He was a man who had lived a full life. He had been a teacher, a husband, a father, and a grandfather. Leo found him sitting in a chair by the window, looking at the rain. He looked frail and tired. "Hello, Grandpa," Leo said. His grandfather turned and smiled. It was a weak smile. "Leo, it's good to see you, my boy." They talked for a while. They talked about the weather, about work, about small things. Then there was a long silence. Leo looked around the room. He saw an old black and white photo on the wall. It was a picture of a young man, handsome and strong, standing in front of a small airplane. "Who is that?" Grandpa Leo asked. His grandfather looked at the photo. A sad look came into his eyes. "That is me," he said quietly. When I was 20 years old. You were a pilot? Leo was surprised. He had never known this. No. His grandfather sighed. I wanted to be. Oh. I wanted it more than anything. I loved planes. I loved the idea of flying, of being free in the sky. So what happened? Leo asked. His grandfather looked away, back out the window at the rain. Life happened. Leo. I met your grandmother. We fell in love. We wanted to buy a house. I needed a stable job. So I became a teacher. It was a good job. A good life? I always told myself. Someday, I will get my pilot's license. When the children are grown, when I have more money, when I retire. He paused, and his voice was very soft. Leo. The children grew up. I made more money. I retired, but my body grew old. My eyes are not good enough to fly a plane anymore. My hands are not steady. He looked directly at Leo. His eyes were clear and full of a deep, painful wisdom. My someday never came. He said, I ran out of time. I have many beautiful memories in my life. I love my family. I do not regret my choices, but I do regret the chances I never took. I regret the things I did not do. The pilot inside me. He never got to fly. He pointed a shaky finger at Leo. Don't let this happen to you. Your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next year, right now, in this moment. The clock is ticking for you. 2. Louder than you think. Leo felt like he had been hit by lightning. My someday never came. The words echoed in his head. He looked at his old, frail grandfather, a man who had lived a good life, but had a quiet regret deep in his heart. And in that moment, Leo saw his own future. He saw himself at 85 years old, sitting in a chair, looking at his dusty guitar, looking at his empty notebook, looking at his map of places he never visited. He felt a powerful mix of fear and clarity. The fear was of a wasted life. The clarity was the simple, brutal truth. His time was limited. He left his grandfather's house that day a different man. The gray, rainy Tuesday was not a normal day anymore. It was the most important day of his life. It was the day he finally woke up. He went home. He did not turn on the TV. He walked to the guitar in the corner. He picked it up. He wiped off the dust with his hand. He didn't know how to play. His fingers were clumsy. He searched online for a simple lesson for beginners. How to hold a guitar. 3 easy chords for beginners. He practiced for 15 minutes. It sounded terrible. His fingers hurt. But he was not playing for an audience. He was playing for himself. And for the first time, the guitar did not feel like a symbol of failure. It felt like a symbol of hope. It felt like a start. After that, he sat at his desk. He opened the clean, white, empty notebook. The blank page was scary. It was a monster of perfection. What if I write something bad? A voice in his head asked. He remembered his grandfather's words. The clock is ticking. He took a pen. He wrote 1 sentence. Just one. The man's name was Arthur, and he was afraid of Tuesdays. It was not a perfect sentence. It was not a beautiful sentence. But it was a sentence. It was a start. He had filled the empty page with a single line. He had defeated the monster. He did not write a whole chapter. He just wrote that 1 sentence, and then he closed the notebook. Before he went to sleep, he looked at his map. He did not dream of all the places. He chose one, just one, Spain. He went to his computer and searched, "How much money do I need for a 1-week trip to Spain?" He wrote down the number. It was a big number, but it was a real number. Not a dream. It was a target. That night, Leo did not dream of being a writer, a musician, or a traveler, because he was already becoming one, in the smallest, most imperfect way. But it was real. The next day, he woke up before his alarm. He practiced the guitar for 15 minutes. It still sounded bad, but a little less bad than yesterday. He wrote one more sentence in his notebook, and then another. He wrote for 10 minutes. At work, he put $10 into a special savings account he named Spain. Leo's life didn't change overnight. There was no magic. It was a slow, quiet revolution. It was a revolution of small actions. 15 minutes of guitar every day, 10 minutes of writing every day, a little bit of money saved every week. Some days were hard. Some days he felt tired. Some days the old voice of someday came back. "You can skip today," it would whisper. "It's just one day." But now he had a new voice, his grandfather's voice. The clock is ticking. So he would pick up the guitar. He would open the notebook. He would save the money. Months passed. The small actions started to add up. 15 minutes a day became hours and hours of practice. His clumsy fingers started to find the right strings. He could play a simple song, and it sounded like music. His music. 10 minutes of writing a day became pages and pages of words. The one sentence became a paragraph. The paragraph became a chapter. The story of Arthur, the man who was afraid of Tuesdays, started to grow. It was his story. The small savings became a real travel fund. The big number for the trip to Spain didn't seem so big anymore. It seemed possible. 1 year after that rainy Tuesday, Leo played a full song on his guitar for his friend Clara. She clapped and cheered. 2 years after, he typed the final words of his book. The end. He cried when he wrote them. They were the most beautiful words he had ever written. 3 years after, he sent a postcard to his grandfather. It was a picture of a beautiful beach. On the back, he wrote, "Dear Grandpa, I am in Spain. Thank you. The pilot inside of me is finally flying. Love. Leo." Leo did not become a famous writer. He did not become a rock star. He did not sell all his things and travel the world forever. He still worked at his job. He still lived in his small apartment, but everything was different. Because he was not a man of someday anymore. He was a man of today. He was not a ghost in his own life. He was the main character. He was living. His life was not a dream anymore. It was real. And it was his. Now, I want to talk to you. Leo's story is not just a story. It is a mirror. Do you see a part of yourself in Leo? What is your dusty guitar? What is your empty notebook? What is your map on the wall? Maybe it's learning a new language, starting a small business, getting in shape, painting, spending more time with your family. We all have these dreams inside us. These beautiful, wonderful dreams. But we keep them locked away. We tell ourselves someday. Someday when I have more time, someday when I have more money, someday when I feel ready, someday when I am not so tired. I am here to tell you a truth that is both scary and beautiful. Your someday may never come. Time is not waiting for you. It moves forward. Always. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. Think about it. You are alive. Right now. In this moment, your heart is beating. You are breathing. This is your time. This is your life. It is not a practice. It is the real thing. Please, do not wait. Do not wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is an illusion. The only moment you have is now. Your dreams are not silly. They are not impossible. They are a part of you. They are your soul asking you to live more fully. Don't ignore that voice. You don't have to change your whole life tomorrow. That is too big. That is too scary. Leo didn't change his whole life in one day. He changed his day, and that changed his life. It starts with one small step, one imperfect action. So, how do you start? How do you stop being a person of someday and become a person of today? Here are 3 practical steps you can take. Right now. 1. Choose your one thing. You cannot do everything at once. If you try, you will feel overwhelmed and you will do nothing. Look at your dreams, your someday list. Choose one. Just one thing. The one that calls to you the most right now. Is it writing? Is it fitness? Is it learning an instrument? Choose your one thing and focus only on that for now. 2. Shrink the action. Make it ridiculously small. The biggest enemy of starting is the size of the task. Write a book is scary. Write one sentence is easy. Run a marathon is scary. Put on your running shoes and walk for 5 minutes is easy. Shrink your action until it is so small, so easy, that you cannot say no. Can you practice guitar for 5 minutes? Can you learn one new word in a new language? Can you do one push-up? Start with a ridiculously small action. The goal is not to make huge progress. The goal is to build a new habit, to become a person who takes action. 3. Schedule it. Put it in your calendar. Don't wait to find time. You will never find time. You have to make time. Take out your phone or your calendar right now. Find a small slot. 10 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes during your lunch break, 5 minutes before you go to sleep. Schedule an appointment with your dream. Treat it like the most important meeting of your day, because it is. When the time comes, do your small action. Don't think about it. Don't negotiate with yourself. Just do it. These 3 steps are simple, but they are powerful. Choose your one thing. Shrink the action. Schedule it. This is how you start. This is how you turn someday into today. Leo's grandfather gave him a gift. It was the gift of urgency. He showed him that our time here is finite and precious. Today, I hope Leo's story is a gift to you. Your life is the sum of your days. So live today well. Take one small step. Write one sentence. Play one chord. Save $1. Start today. Thank you for listening. Remember, your time is precious. Don't waste it. Start today.